Hey, fellow knights, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to keep on continuing the fan film reaction hype train that I've been doing. And the last two Star Wars fan films I had done actually kind of cordial coincides with this fan film actually. Because the first one was like Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka meeting. And the last one I reacted to was Ahsoka telling Luke stories of the Clone Wars, and that's like amongst amongst the best S- Star Wars AI fan films channels out there. This one is Luke learns from Ahsoka who Anakin really was. S- So I am very excited to see. Uh, one of my friends told me about this video. I liked it, even though I haven't watched it yet. By the time I am making this video, it has been out for 13 hours at this point, by the time I'm making this video. So let's actually give this a watch, shall we?
Alright, Snips, if you've made it this far, you've got the idea. Everything I said before comes down to this. Trust yourself. Not the council, not the manuals. You. You see things others miss, and that's what makes you dangerous in the best way. Your instincts are
Ooh.
your strongest weapon. Don't second guess them, and don't try to fight like me. Take what
That AI Anakin looks so good. I like that.
works, leave what doesn't, and make the rest your own. Your troopers will follow you because you earn it, not because you're my Padawan. Remember that. Okay, that's the end of today's lecture. Go train, try not to break the ship, and if you have questions, find me before the next battle starts.
I like that little jab,
He
playful jab.
sounds so alive. There's this ease in his voice, confidence without anger, even a hint of humor. I wasn't expecting that.
This was Anakin before everything piled onto him. The war, the Council's doubts, and his own fear, before he started hiding how much weight he carried every single day.
I only heard something like that once, when he asked me to let him see me with his own eyes.
It was never gone, just buried.
But this Anakin, he feels like someone who could walk into any room and change the whole thing just by being there.
I just realized Luke's in Ahsoka's ship. Dude, that's cool. That's like really cool.
He did that all the time, even when it wasn't helpful.
It's strange. I recognize him, and at the same time I don't.
What do you mean?
The way he carries himself, the way he pauses before he speaks. Vader had those traits too, but they meant something completely different.
The habits stayed. The person behind them changed.
Here it feels like he's reaching outward, trying to connect with you, with his men, with anyone who'd listen.
That was him at his best. Open, direct, ready to take on anything, even when he shouldn't.
Seeing him like this, it makes everything feel clearer, more real.
Anakin
Good.
always felt like
He deserves to
overachiever.
be remembered as more than the mask he wore.
I'm glad you showed me this.
You're his son. You deserve to know who he was, not just who he became.
With courses
Are
developed
you
and taught by
flipping
some
kidding
of
me?
the most distinguished names in the U.S. fire industry.
Ah, stupid ass. Okay.
I wonder what kind of teacher he was.
Get out
Complicated,
nowhere, stupid ass.
inspiring, exhausting. He taught the way he lived, fast, honest, without pretending to be he wasn't.
He talked to you so freely, like he wasn't afraid to show what he really thought.
That was his way of teaching. He never hid his opinions.
Was he strict?
Not in the usual sense. He didn't care about rules.
Well, that's
He
the.
cared about
I was
results.
trying to make this video
So
go
he pushed
better.
you?
Constantly. Half the time he expected me to keep up with him. The other half he expected me to do the impossible.
Sounds familiar.
He could be intense, too intense, but he trusted me more than any master probably should trust their Padawan.
Trusted you with what?
Decisions, missions, orders I gave to my people. He threw me into situations older Jedi would have tiptoed around for months.
And you weren't scared?
Of the battles? No. Of disappointing him? Sometimes.
I can
Because
kind
he
of see that
expected
in
too
some
much.
ways.
Because he believed I could handle it. And that belief, it was powerful. It made me want to be better. Not because of the order, because of him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't teach you like the council taught their students.
Not even close. The council trained you to fit their mold.
I-
Anakin trained me to outgrow mine, even if it meant breaking a few doors on the way.
I wonder what kind of teacher he would have been if things had gone differently.
I swear, if this guy doesn't like lump the 3 videos I've so far reacted to all together to make one big video, I'd be so sad because so far I am enjoying these videos that this guy's been making.
A good one. Chaotic, unpredictable, but good. He cared, more than he ever admitted.
I can hear that in the recording. He wanted you to stand on your own, not be a copy of him.
Exactly. He knew the galaxy doesn't need 2 Anakins.
Mhm.
Maybe that's something I can learn from him too.
You should. His lessons weren't perfect, but they were honest. And honesty was his strongest teaching tool.
And the most dangerous one?
Sometimes. Because he expected you to live up to the version of yourself he saw. And that version was always bigger than you thought you could be.
Well,
I
that's
keep
pretty good
thinking
answer.
about that last moment when I was carrying him to the shuttle on the Death Star. I can't stop wondering if there was something I could have done, something that might have saved his life.
This isn't the first time you've tried to answer that on your own, is it?
No, I still see it. The way he leaned on me, how fast he was fading. And I think maybe if I'd moved quicker or refused to leave him or
Mm.
I don't know.
Luke, listen.
It sounds like Luke has like it's on like in a way has survivor skill. It was just like pretty much going through something of a traumatic experience like he did on the Death Star, where like those of you who've seen the Return of the Jedi won't need me to recount the event that happened on the Death Star with Luke, but like the fact that he as in Luke lived while his father didn't. And the fact that he just said that he replaced that multiple times, thinking of like if there were ways he could have saved Anakin, like, dude, sounds like he has like a first like I don't know how big or small it is at this point, but a version of survivor skill. And I just want to give that guy a hug. Man,
You did everything. You reached the part of him no one else ever touched. If you hadn't, he would have died as Vader, not as Anakin Skywalker.
It still feels like failure.
It feels like grief, and that's not the same thing.
I thought bringing him back to the light meant he'd live. That saving him meant saving his life.
Saving someone doesn't always mean keeping them here, Luke. Sometimes it means letting them leave as the person they truly were, not the monster they became.
my Jesus on the motorbike. So like survivor skill. If I didn't say A before, I don't know why I'm supposed to if I explained it before. But it's kind of like you going through you went through a life-threatening situation while others died, right? And due to the Emperor's actions, it was a life-threatening experience Luke went through, and his father died. And like I know sometimes like survivor skill can be like, why did I survive and they didn't? Why couldn't they live but I was forced to like live on? Like what could I have done better or differently to like hope said person, in this case being my father Anakin, survive a bit like survive post Death Star battle essentially. Like I said, I do think that Luke has like the way they portrayed him was I respect and enjoy has a bit of survivor skill in him. Again, I respect that. I'm a psychology major in college, so like the psychology major in me is kind of like digging that. Anyway, sorry.
I wanted more time.
So did I. But Anakin's story was already breaking long before yours began, and you changed the way it ended.
I wish he'd had the chance to teach me, to be my father, for real.
I just
Maybe
want
he
to give this
couldn't
man a
live long
hug.
enough to do that.
Just a
But he
hug.
gave you something else, the truth of who he wanted to be, and now you get to decide what to do with that.
But if he survived, maybe he would help me to restore the order.
He would have tried, with everything he had, but it wouldn't have been simple. Anakin could inspire people better than anyone I've ever met, and overwhelm them just as easily.
Do you think that he would be a good teacher for a new generation of Jedi?
For some, absolutely. For others, he would have scared them half to death, but they would have learned.
It's a shame he'll never have the chance to teach them himself.
Maybe not in person, but you still have his lessons. Those recordings are the closest thing to having him here.
But they were meant for you.
They were meant for someone who needed them. Right now, that's
That's
you
real
and your
good.
students. One day, they might learn from Anakin without even knowing.
I'd like that. A Jedi Order shaped by who he was before the fall.
Then use what he left behind. Take the best of him. He'd want that, even if he'd never admit it.
Mm-hmm. You would think, like, because I know Legends version does this pretty well. I'm going to strictly based off of canon, current canon, which is under Disney, which why Ahsoka looks like Rosario Dawson. But you would think after this conversation, which I'm hoping at some point makes canon, like, so like this argument can be like, I can use this argument a bit better too. If this conversation actually happened in canon. But I'm just gonna say it. If Luke found out more about Anakin and why he fell, then why in Mandalorian? Oh, no, Mandalorian. In the Book of Boba Fett, he gave Grogu that ultimatum between, oh, you can't choose Din Djarin, or you can choose the Jedi way. Granted, that this meeting could have been like right after that meeting. Who knows? Or like a bit before. If this was a bit before, then that raises that question of like even higher. Like if Luke had this conversation with Ahsoka before the whole events of Book of Boba Fett, where he was training Grogu, then why the hell did he make Grogu have the ultimatum? That was unfair, especially for someone who was a toddler. Like what? Because of course, someone that young, like mentally young, as Grogu is going to choose Daddy over Jedi. That's like that'll be my one criticism of they make some like conversations similar to this in canon. Like, dude, what? That's not my critique. That's not me critiquing this fandom because I'm enjoying it so far. It's just Disney's Star Wars lore is confusing. Anyways,
Maybe this is how he teaches me now, through the pieces of him that survived.
Exactly. And if you build your order with those pieces, it'll be something he'd recognize, and something the galaxy hasn't seen in a long time.
I don't know what the new order will become yet, but I want it to be something he wouldn't be ashamed of.
Then start with honesty. That was the one thing he always wanted from the people he trusted.
I'll try, and maybe I'll play those recordings a few more times.
You're carrying a big task, and big tasks don't get lighter just because you stare at them.
I know,
amen to
but
that.
today it feels like I finally took the first real step.
Good. Just remember, you're not taking it alone.
Okay. Well, that was good. That was good. I really enjoyed that. Like I said, I do think that this like whole AI things, like story thing, that is good. I know, like there's a few channels that I've reacted to that has been doing Star Wars, their own like their fan film Star Wars stories, but using AI. I know Star Wars Skywalker Tales is one of them. Most Icy Cantina, being the channel I just reacted to this video to, is one of them. But both channels I've mentioned, and other channels that I've reacted to, because I know I reacted to this X-Wing one a while back, last year actually, that they I know there's this argument about how AI is bad, how we shouldn't be using AI, how AI is going to doom us all. I think there's also good uses for AI, this being amongst them. I do think that some people inherently think that all AI is bad. I'm pretty sure that's what people thought about phones. Like, oh my god, all phones is bad. All video games is bad. And I know my mom was one of those people that says, oh my god, video games are bad. They're gonna have a bad influence on my kids. And like video games doesn't have a bad influence on me. Like video games had a good influence on me. Like it helped me like escape the real world for a few hours, de-stress, enjoy storytelling, and be able to beat people up that are made up one zeros. Without actually like wanting to like feel the need to do that in real life. But no, I do think there's good uses to AI. And like with everything, there's also bad uses for it with AI. But I do think there's good uses of AI. And I do think that there are some people who tend to ignore then, okay, maybe there are some good uses of AI, but like for example, this story, I really think this was a beautiful story. And yeah, sure, Disney could tell a story like this, sure, but will they though? No. I would love them to, but like I said, who knows? So like, I'm happy we are getting this like these fan film AI like fan films that we're getting, especially like fan films are kind of like this, where it's like AI, and it shows like the beauty of fan films, like what AI can do, and it doesn't necessarily harp on the negative. That makes sense. So, anywho, what do you guys think about this fan film? Let me know in the comment section down below. Well, you guys have a wonderful day. If you kind of want to know, I will talk to you fellow knights later.